Hi, Aya Sophia. How's it going? Hi, friends. Sorry, I'm trying to get myself set up here. Hi, Jordan. I'm waiting for my pal, Melissa. She's going to join us here in a second. It has been another busy day here at the Needlepoint shop. I'll tell you what. Here she is. All right. Just waiting for Melissa. Should be tuning in here in a second. I'm going to go ahead and take a little sip of wine. It says connecting. Hi! I can't hear you.
Hi there.
Oh, there you are.
Uh-oh.
Now I can.
Can you hear me now?
You're up in the sticks.
Can you hear me? You can't hear me?
I can hear you. Your connection is pretty fuzzy, but I can hear you.
Well, that's because I'm in the Great White North.
Nice. So how are you doing today?
Well, sorry, I feel bad. I've got this all figured out when I'm at the store, but not now. Can you hear me better?
Right. We'll let it slide. Hey, I wanted to show you something. I did something for you today. I wore my B shirt. Can you see it?
Oh, yes.
And then because we're having a collaboration, I also wore my gingham. You like it?
Cute.
Gingham and bees,
Yes.
gingham and bees. Whee!
You're better than I am. I'm out of my element, so.
Well, you got to relax in a calm environment. It's been nutty today in the shop.
Yeah, well, I was very busy here. Just I didn't have a phone ringing, so.
That's good. So, here we are. It's you and me and you. So hopefully by now, most of those who are watching, we've got about 40 people watching. Hi, guys. Most of you probably have seen our little announcement. We're calling it an announcement. We're pretty excited, and have seen our new Instagram account called Pointing It Out. So Melissa and I are going to point it out, play on words. But we wanted to just kind of jump on here real quick from our perspective shop sites, I guess, just to kind of say hi and sort of do a formal introduction. Is that what you'd say we're doing here?
Works for me. Sorry, I feel like you can barely hear me. So
I can hear you fine. No, it's good. The connection kind of balanced out. You were kind of grainy for a minute, but I can hear you just fine. So anyway, so I guess what I've kind of been thinking about is all of this quarantine and how we're all just sort of over it. But I'm really working hard to see the silver linings. And I think one of the silver linings is the fact that the needlepoint industry has just kind of exploded and everybody's stitching and we're busy, which is awesome. But the other silver lining is that we've had to be creative, and I guess probably a little too technologically creative for the two of us, wouldn't you say?
Thank God for my adult children.
Exactly right. So we've had to kind of get creative and think about different ways to try to connect with people. And so I started doing some live Instagram, my sofa series, and you started doing some live on Instagram. And we got to thinking and we thought, well, what are we going to do when everybody goes back to doing what they do? And life is different. And so kind of out of all of these conversations Melissa and I have had over the past 6 weeks when we've been kind of trying to figure things out, we said, you know what? There's a little bit of a void in the podcast world. And
sure.
so
yeah, I was fortunate enough to be on that fiber talk. Oops, sorry. There you go.
Say it one more time. You said
you were. Are you coming back? Oh,
I'm
wait,
here.
baby. Are you back?
I'm still here. I'll just take a sip of my wine and wait for you.
Gosh. Let's see what happens.
Thanks, Brooke. Well, I'm just going to keep talking because
Oh,
I think
boy.
I've somehow lost Melissa, but I'm still here and I can still hear her. So,
Oh,
um,
you're back.
I'm still here. I didn't lose you at all.
Kind of.
So,
Yeah. What?
um, so I'll just go ahead
I'm
and
carrying you.
Okay, that sounds good. Carry us away, Melissa.
There we go.
So
well,
Melissa
I
and
lost
have
you,
decided.
but now I'm going closer to the router, so we might.
So Melissa, you can't tell, but you haven't gone anywhere for us. So we can still see you and hear you. So anyway, so I just was going to kind of carry on here. So outbirthed this idea of us continuing this series, but we sort of talked about what should we do, how should we do it, how should we handle it, what platform should we use, what kind of technology should we use. I know, sorry, we're cracking you up. I'm trying to. Hey, the show goes on, all right, whether or not the internet is good up north.
I'm here.
Okay.
That's all right.
And I'm down here in St. Louis where I've been rained on today running packages to cars and things. So, but anyway, so we're just really excited to keep the activity going. And so we decided to come together and join forces. I'm gonna kind of keep on keeping on with my designers. That's been really fun for me, and so we're gonna keep doing that. But Melissa there's a whole bunch of people in the needlepoint world that we know that you would be interested in meeting and interested in talking to. So we're just gonna kind of keep going with that. So Melissa, do you want to talk about kind of the vein that you're sort of looking at for this series?
Sure. So what I was doing initially is like not totally applicable to the big needlepoint world. So I'm kind of shifting a little bit of what I've been doing into other interesting and fun people in the needlepoint world. Book writers, teachers, suppliers that aren't designers, those kind of people. And then Megan and I, when I had her on my live a few weeks ago, and people just were really enjoying she and I talking about our needlepoint worlds. And so I think some weeks it'll just be Megan and I chatting with each other, with an opportunity for you guys to ask questions, egg us on or tell us to shut up, whichever the case may be. So that's kind of where we were thinking of heading with that on our alternate weeks. Because we can't always have, total needlepoint stars. Sometimes you're just going to be stuck with us. But I think the feedback we've gotten, people have enjoyed that as well. So
yeah, I think that anytime you're in a hobby, there's say you collect wine, you've got wine enthusiasts, you've got everybody. Maybe I'll speak for myself, but I'm just a curious person, and so I always think logistically, how does this work? How does this thread actually get to the store? And I don't know. I hope and we think that people are just as interested in the inner workings of the industry as we are. So that's kind of our thought. So we're lining up interviews now. We've got our schedule, we think, for the rest of May. And our hope is to continue on this platform from now, so the Instagram platform, for probably the rest of this month. Our thought is that probably most everyone is still sheltered in place for May. And so keeping this live on Instagram going is just going to sort of be the way we go from now. And then looking forward into June and July, we're probably going to transform into a YouTube collaboration. So our hope is to eventually have a stagnant group of episodes that you can refer to and go back on. And so that is why in this past day we've really hyped up our Instagram feed, because we want to make sure that everyone's getting the information for now, and for our audiences that we have now are kind of scooching over to Instagram. Yes, I love Instagram. The bummer is the 24-hour thing, and that's exactly what we've been talking about. Is that if you miss it, you miss it. And for right now, sadly, I guess, or not, we've all got a lot of time on our hands, so we can watch things live. But our assumption is that we won't be eventually.
Right.
And so I'm sorry, Melissa. I just kind of kept talking because you were in and out of.
Well,
but go ahead.
But that's where the part about my adult children come in. So my newly graduated U of M son, as of Saturday, is newly graduated, and he has been roped into helping us with some of the technical side. So what our plan is, and we're 99.9% sure it's going to work, is to save these videos, or Instagram lives, I should say, and have them uploaded to YouTube in very short order. So hopefully anyone after 24 hours can go back and watch those now. And then I think what Megan's saying is it remains to be seen if, you know, we morph over to YouTube altogether in the long run, or if it's Instagram Live that then is uploaded to YouTube. That's kind of something that we're just going to have. And it's funny that you say someone is bringing up floss tube, and that's exactly kind of where we were going, is it's kind of a floss tube situation. But most of the people that we know and love are very active on Instagram, so it just makes sense to kind of keep rolling here while we can and kind of cover our bases in as many directions as we can.
For sure. And ATK official, I'm sorry, I don't know your first name off the top of my head, but you know, you bring up a really good point. And we did talk about just a podcast, which I know a lot of people, like someone mentioned FlossTube and podcasts. We did talk about a podcast. And that's still sort of on the table. But where we're at right now is that Needlepoint is such a visual industry. It's so textile, it's touching, it's feeling, it's teaching. And our fear is that just discussing things in this vein, we will kind of lose something. So again, this is a fluid thing. We just know that there's a void. We know that there's an opportunity. We know that there's a lot of awesome people in this industry that we want to get out there and to talk to. And so I'm sure Melissa does too. We really appreciate that input. We just, for right now, this is kind of, we're kind of moving to the video podcast world only just because of the nature of our industry. But it's something that we're keeping in mind and looking at too. So,
and if we haven't learned how to be flexible in the last 6 weeks, none of us have learned a thing. So,
girl, I think I told you I taught a beginner class on Saturday morning on Zoom, and I don't know if it's just that everybody's being flexible right now or what, but it was magic. It was awesome, and I was shocked. I wasn't sure it was going to work, but the power of technology is awesome. It's just getting our heads around it and getting all of the nuances together. So, so this says, I would love to know how videos when you get on YouTube. I would love. So I think the question is, and is how will you find our YouTube videos?
Oh.
So right now, it will be, we will have our live interviews on Instagram. They'll be there for 24 hours, and then we will transfer them over to a channel on YouTube. It'll be Pointing It Out podcast channel on YouTube. And we'll also have the link to the most recent episodes up in our Instagram bio. So the hope is that that week after the interview, if it's already gone away, you can just click on that link and go over to YouTube and check that out. That's the very simple version. I'm sure there's other nuances to it, but that's kind of where we are right now. So is that right, Melissa? You and your techie kiddos. I'm just over here bopping around.
the only hesitation you're seeing from me is I thought the question was different. I thought she was saying she'd love to see some how-to videos when we get started.
How-to.
If that's the question, like I said, we may morph into that. But for now, I don't know which question it was, but hopefully we answered.
You know what? Thank God it's the two of us, and I'm not just bumbling around here, because you were correct. How-to videos is in how to choose threads and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that will come. I think that you know, like we said, we're going to be talking to some teachers and to some thread people who distribute thread, and so I think you'll get a lot of information out of those. And hopefully, there are some people who are doing some really great how-tos right now. Brooke from Thorne Alexander has a great one. I know Abigail Cecile had one out there at one point. There's a lot of people doing it, and they're doing a great job. So the last thing we're trying to do is to usurp anybody else's kind of thing. But we really just kind of felt like there was this void in this area of like the background story. So that's kind of where we're at right now. But
yeah, it'll be kind of just, I find that you and I and most of our customers just love to talk about Needlepoint, and our families are just like blah, 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 blah.
Like the teacher in Charlie Brown.
Yeah. So it's just an opportunity for us to sit and probably stitch and enjoy some, you know, insider knowledge or just some chitter chatter about needlepoint in general, because it's fun for us.
Yeah, so Lynn, get back with us because we both have some resources and some places to send you. But again, follow us. We're gonna again, this could be something that we also get into. But you know, we'll just see. So for right now, our schedule, you know, we didn't talk about this, but what I had been doing was sort of surprising everybody with my my guest each week. I didn't put a schedule out there because I just think the anticipation is just so much more fun. And so I was just
Times we're just running by our tails and trying to figure it out.
Hey, that's not true at all. I had 6 weeks lined out, girl. So
that's impressive. Given our scenario right now, that's very impressive.
Well, but anyway, so I will then, what I had been doing with the SOFA series was announcing things on Tuesdays. I always said I was going to do it on Monday, but I always did it on Tuesday. So anyway, so that would be tomorrow. So we've got this Saturday's guests lined up. And please continue to follow both Melissa and my page and the Pointing It Out page. But we will be running that interview on the Pointing It Out page just to try to transition over to that platform. But so yeah, so as far as the schedule, we've got this Saturday, we've got the rest of the month lined out, but we will likely just give you a week's notice because that's much more fun. And yeah, I think we talked about the logistics. We've had a lot of people emailing and saying, you should interview this person, you should interview that person, this is so great. And that's exactly the feedback we wanted, because that's exactly what we were hoping for, is that these live Instagram things would spark some interest. So please continue to send us suggestions, DM us. We have a Gmail address, which we need to check. So I'm not going to say it right now because I need to make sure that we're deciding on how we're going to keep up with that communication. But for now, we've got our Instagram feed, and stay tuned. I think that's where we were at with this.
Yeah, and just the other thing I think that's pertinent is in terms of the schedule, we're still planning to continue for Saturdays for the rest of this month. And then I think we are all hoping that maybe we can get back to going out to dinner on a Saturday night. So we probably won't be Saturday nights in the long run. So our Saturday nights for now, and then we'll probably move to a more, quieter time of the week for when that happens. But, everything's fluid right now. Everything's like, wait and see how it all goes. So just don't, that 8 o'clock on a Saturday night is forevermore, but that is for sure in the short term.
And also, we do plan to still do it once a week, and probably on the weekends. And but again, since we will have a stayed platform, so it won't leave us in 24 hours, you'll still be able to tune in on YouTube. So
absolutely. So we thank you all for being excited about this and for being patient with my wonky internet right this moment, and maybe our slow grasp of technology, but we're teaching ourselves some new tricks, so it's all good.
That's exactly right. So did you bring a glass, or did you leave that on the table back there?
No, that got ditched in the other room because
okay, well,
I thought this was more important. So
I don't know. We've got about 50 people
cheers.
Watching. If anybody else has any questions, I really appreciated the point about the podcast and also the how-to. And it was awesome to have you last Saturday. You're great. We had a great feedback on that. And just so you know, and other people know, at the end of those series, or excuse me, each of those kind of live SOFA series, I've had over 500 people have watched them. So we know you're watching. Melissa, I don't know if you've checked out your stats at the end of the.
Yeah, I mean, usually just when I've been talking to other shop owners and kind of not quite as big as celebrities as Ann Fisher and all, but people are still wanting to sit around and talk and listen to us, and it's been 200 people, which I think is hysterical but I think, like I said, it's all about all of us who do this love to talk about needlepoint, and most of our people living under our roof are yeah, whatever. So
even my best girlfriends don't stitch. Even my girls from college, my girls from post-college, none of those friends really stitch, and so I've developed a fun community of people, but they're definitely not in my weekend necessarily my weekend social gathering. So it's fun, and I just observed there are so many smart people, so many cool people doing so many cool things in this industry that I just think that there's so much for us to talk about on this, which is why I'm really excited about it. So there's just some awesome people in our industry that we get to meet at market and et cetera. And we want you to meet too. So thanks, Connie.
I know, I'm cracking up. That's the funniest thing. And there's Terry. So yes. Yes. So it's just great. It's great.
So that's all I had on my list is we just wanted to kind of jump on here, encourage you all to encourage your friends to keep following us. So shout out to all the local needlepoint shop and the amazing artists who keep creating beautiful canvases for all of us. Amen. Oh, Angie, you're so sweet. Thank you. We are too. We are too. It's just very cool. So, but yeah, you know, I will say, Melissa and I think we've mentioned before that she and I have talked at length a couple times a day, just because this has been a crazy, crazy ass time. But everybody, all of our colleagues are working their tails off. They really are. Everybody's working like dogs by themselves in their shops, where they've set up a shop that really requires 3-4 people at a time to work. And so thank you for your patience. As I said on my message here at the shop, thank you for your business, because we couldn't be, I hate to say complaining, but we couldn't be bummed about how tired we are if it weren't for all of you. So we appreciate it very much. So.
It's a good problem to have right now.
That's exactly right.
Regularly remind ourselves. So
exactly
good.
So anyway, well, we look forward to it too, and stay tuned. I will make the announcement, or we will, excuse me, on tomorrow on the Pointing It Out podcast Instagram page. So stay tuned for this week's guest, and stay tuned for all of our guests. It's gonna be so fun. So anyway, keep following us, keep stitching, keep plugging away. Quarantine, I feel the light at the end of the tunnel. So, and I can feel it. So, all right, girl. Well, happy stitching up north, and I got to get back into the shop and finalize some things before I can go home and see who did their schoolwork today. So there's that.
Yikes. Yikes.
All right, you all.
Well, good luck with that, and I'll be back at the shop tomorrow. I'm sure I'll talk to you on my way in.
And you're going to continue to do your unboxing parties on Friday mornings. People may not know about those. That's really fun.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my 9:30 Fridays, and I started introducing my staff, so I think I need to keep doing that for a little while longer, because I don't want anyone's feelings to be hurt. But that's on my end, you know, whatever.
So
yeah.
But the unboxing's fun. It's like Christmas morning. So for
yes,
players anyway.
From last week, but I'll get caught up. That's just the name of the game. We're chasing our tails, but it's a fun race.
That's right. All right, y'all.
Okay.
Take care. Cheers. Have a great night. Okay. Bye-bye.